Am I wrong for not telling a guy what I do for work and letting him pay for my drinks during the whole evening? My friend Grace invited me to a board game bar to play and have drinks with her boyfriend, and one of their friends, Nick. We went to get drinks in pairs, Grace going with her boyfriend. Meanwhile, Nick and I stayed at the table and vice versa. So Nick and I had plenty of time to talk, just the two of us. Nick started the night by telling us about his recent career change. He decided to quit his previous job, go to a coding bootcamp, and he got a job as a developer 1 or 2 months ago. He was very proud of himself and his new salary and told me this multiple times. He never asked me what I do for work, but talked about his new job quite a lot, occasionally saying, "Sorry, you don't understand that, haha." During the entire evening, I never told him I have been working as a software engineer for the past 4 years because he never asked, and honestly, I found it a bit entertaining. When it came to the drinks, he invited me to every single one. Don't worry about it, it's not a problem with my developer salary. Cringe. I told him multiple times he doesn't have to pay for me, but he insisted. At the end of the night, when we were saying our goodbyes, he took out his phone to send me a friend request on Facebook. My job is listed in my profile, so that was when he realized that I'm a software engineer. He asked me if it's true that I'm a software engineer, and I answered yes. He asked me why I didn't tell him, and why did I let him believe that I was a cashier like Grace used to be. I never implied that. And why did I let him pay for everything when I probably earned more than him? I told him that he never once asked, and it was his fault, he assumed. He could have simply asked me about my job, but he only wanted to brag about his. But if he wants me to, I can pay him back for the drinks. He was angry and said that I made a fool out of him. I think he did that, not me. But now Grace and her boyfriend are on his side too, saying that it would have cost me nothing to tell him early in the evening, and I only kept it for myself for my own entertainment. Well, I did find it entertaining, but I don't really feel like I did anything wrong. So, am I the asshole?
I, 31 female, am struggling with some emotions right now, and I don't know how to feel. I would love a fatherly perspective. I just got married on Monday to my fiance, 34 male, of 7 years. I've been so excited and planning this wedding for what feels like forever. I had tons of DIY projects, but of course, with food, venue, photography, etc., it still ended up being very expensive for us. Still, I felt like it was worth it for one day of true joy, and we both worked extra hours to pay for everything ourselves, so we wouldn't have to ask for money from our families. However, my family is very religious. I was raised in a fundamentalist Christian household, but have since stepped away from that lifestyle. My now husband is, refreshingly, not religious at all, so of course, they disapprove. This is partly the reason we waited so long to actually get married. I've spent so much time talking them through everything and felt that we had reached an agreement. They knew our wedding would not be a religious one and that we would have alcohol and secular music. My dad was willing to walk me down the aisle and verbally affirmed the wedding and welcomed my husband into the family. So I felt safe to finally move forward with a formal wedding. So wedding day comes, we had a short ceremony and planned a more involved reception with drinks, dancing, games, fun speeches, and great food from our favorite food truck. As we made our entrance into the reception, I was so happy to see how beautiful everything had turned out. Everyone seemed happy and excited for us. Everyone except my parents, who were just sulking alone at their table. This should have tipped me off that something was brewing, but honestly, I just wanted to ignore them and enjoy our day. I had just sat down to eat. We were the first ones to get our food. The other guests had just started lining up when I noticed my mom and dad taking down decorations, like pulling centerpieces off of tables, removing place settings, taking down floral arrangements on the serving tables.
Right in the middle of all this.
Right in the middle of everything.
Okay.
That type of thing. So I paused to go ask my mom why they were taking things down. She waved me off that they were just tidying. I told her to stop. I hired people to do the teardown when it was time. She said okay and hurried me back to my table to finish eating. I was distracted then with our first dance and a couple of speeches. When I got a chance to really look around again, almost all of the decor was gone. Guests started leaving because ... Well, it was basically an empty room. This was less than an hour into our reception. My parents disembarked shortly after, and we were left with a deserted venue, 6 loyal guests, no decor or food or snacks, a DJ, and alcohol. We made the best of it and had a tiny dance party in the giant empty room that we had rented for many more hours. The DJ and coordinator took pity on us and danced too, so we could get a few pictures. It was still fun, but the rest of the evening's plans, hosts, games, group dances, and photos were all ruined because everyone felt like they had to leave. I am so upset and disappointed that our expensive wedding was shut down like this. I'm not really sure if it was vindictive or if my mom and dad, who grew up doing church weddings, just felt like it was their job to do the teardown. But the fact that they seemed grumpy and were generally disapproving of our union makes me suspicious. Am I right to feel wronged here? Should I just let it go, or is it worth confronting them? I do have a history of letting my family pretty much treat me like crap, and I'm struggling now to balance keeping the peace and sticking up for myself.
Well, the reality is that thing is over, and those people cut it short. I don't understand how the parents were thinking to even why they would do it. I mean, I don't know if she's got a better clue into her parents what their deal is. You know, that they feel they have to literally give everyone the illusion that the party's over.
They wanted to ruin her day.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband he knew what he was signing up for before he married me? My husband, 38 male, and I, 36 female, have recently got into a conflict over my closeness to my best friend, 36 female. I've known her since kindergarten, and we even went to the same college. After college, we moved into a nice one-bedroom apartment to save money. We quickly invested in a 3-bedroom and 2-bath house, and we renovated together. We've lived there for 5 years, and 4 years ago, I met my husband. After a few weeks, he met Anna, and over the 2 years we dated, we all hung out several times. He proposed and wanted us to move in together, but I didn't want to move out of my house into an apartment. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he knew what he was signing up for before he married me? He also couldn't afford the investment of getting a house together. I talked to Anna, and Rob moved in with us a couple months later. After we got married, he talked to me about how my friendship with Anna made him deeply uncomfortable. I'm very close with her, we've had some sleepovers, and even go on little dates. Rob has never previously voiced discomfort with how we are despite knowing us for 4 years. I think he's only doing it now because I recently told him how Anna confessed her love for me when we first bought the house together. I told him this is what he signed up for, and if he had a problem, he should have told me years ago.
Today I messed up by talking to my partner while they were asleep. I came home to find my partner asleep, so I carefully crawled into bed with them. I happened to have a lot on my mind, so after some time I started to speak quietly to them. I've never done this before, but it was cathartic to say my thoughts out loud. Since they were asleep, I told them things that I would never say to them if they were conscious. I am diagnosed with a major depressive disorder as well as generalized anxiety disorder. Lately, I've been in a severely bad mental state, so bad that I cannot get out of bed, take care of hygiene, go to work, you get the picture. I think about ending it every day. I am in conversation with my school administrators, work supervisor, and HR, family and friends support system for accommodations during this time, and also have been meeting with all kinds of medical professionals in an effort to find something that helps lessen my mental anguish. I've seen many therapists and counselors, have been on multiple medications, do my best to maintain social relationships, and exercise. Nothing has helped. And being honest about how I'm doing when I was able to mask it and function for many years before is taking a toll on me. In talking to my sleeping partner, I told him about how much I hate how little control I have, how exhausted I am in the process of finding something that works. I expressed regret for how my condition is difficult for other people as well. And then I started talking about the future, a future that I don't see myself in. I talked about my options and plans to take my life, even made a joke about what his highly religious mother would say. Near the end, I rambled on about how amazing my time with him has been, how much I love him, how much I fear leaving him to deal with grief. I made a comment about how I sincerely hopes he finds someone he's excited to spend the rest of his life with after I'm gone. As I'm sure you've guessed it, he wasn't asleep for all of that. As far as I know, he only heard the very last bit, but that was enough to freak him out. As soon as I said my last, I love you, and began to settle to sleep, he spoke. He asked what I meant when I'm gone. He asked if I was serious. In that moment, I didn't want to be honest, but I couldn't lie, so I just didn't answer. I'm sure that was an answer enough. I feel so guilty. He really has been the most wonderful person to share the last many years of my life with, and my heart breaks for what I'm going to do to him. I wish I didn't have to further burden him with the knowledge of what's coming.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she needs to buy her own airplane ticket? I booked a 2-week vacation to Europe about 17 months ago, including flights and lodging. And my new girlfriend of 5 months said she wants to come with me. I said that I would really love that, but she'd have to pay for her own flight. I said that I could include her in my hotel accommodations and would pay for food, tours, and attractions. However, she said that she can't afford the flight, which costs $700 since she's booking last minute. So she asked me if I could buy her plane ticket, and I said I didn't budget for another plane ticket and that I thought it was already fair for me to pay for other things. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that she needs to buy her own plane ticket? I said I thought it was fair for me already to buy other things for the trip for us. She said that she really wanted to go on the vacation with me and this could be her early anniversary or birthday gift. I said that another plane ticket was not in my budget, and she said I make more money than her and I should be able to afford it. And that I just don't want to take her. I said I would love for her to come, but I just can't do it and have other financial obligations. So she either needs to buy her own ticket or I'll just see her when I come back home. She said I'm being selfish and we're supposed to be a partnership and hopefully I'll still be here when you get back.